Hi, my name is Priscilla Ramirez and I am in the 11th grade, and this is the behind the scenes show for the 2017 Memphis Challenge Service Project, Tell Me a Story, Giving Voice to the Voiceless. In the spring of 2016, the students of Memphis Challenge created, coordinated, and executed the first Memphis Challenge Tell Me a Story Service through Storytelling project. That year, challengers wrote a series of published short stories that were read and given to the children throughout the city of Memphis. With the success of our first Tell Me a Story project, the Memphis Challenge developed another service project for 2017. However, instead of using books to tell a story, we decided to create short films, public service announcements, and podcasts to give voice to the voiceless. So before we dive in, let's hear a word from the Executive Director, Ms. Cassandra Webster.
Giving voice to the voiceless has enabled Memphis challengers to amplify and find their voice. Their commitment to this media journey is to be commended. I so applaud the Memphis challengers who took the steps to be a part of this experience. No matter what was asked of them, a reshoot, a rewrite, to come back in, to meet us on a Saturday morning, to stay to 3 o'clock, to give up their spring break, part of their holiday, to be a part of this experience speaks volumes. I am so proud of the work, the finished product, but most important, what they have gained from this amazing experience. The commitment, the dedication, and their resilience to see a project from start to finish. Thank you, Memphis Challengers, for being a part of this journey and being a model for other students to emulate.
The challengers were split up into 5 different groups: animation, public service announcement, theatrical, podcast, and behind the scenes. So first, let's take a look at the animation group and their film, Not So Different.
I voiced the main character. His name was Henry. He was a child who had ADHD. He wasn't able to focus and concentrate in class all the time, so he would always sing because that's how he expressed himself and that's who he was.
Tell about your country. So,
As you all can see, they were inside of a real professional studio and you all were recording your voices for it. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Okay, so for me it was unlike anything I've ever seen because I've never been inside of a recording studio, not a day in my life. So everything was really new to me. And one funny feature about it that I think was funny was the microphones. They were really voice sensitive. So if you even turned a piece of paper around, the mic would pick up the sound and it would be in with the recording. So you'd see us many times having to flip the paper slowly, and it just looked pretty funny. Everybody trying to flip the pages slowly, not having to make sounds, or us just dropping our papers. And even that sometimes would make the noise pick up on the mic, so we'd have to start over and over and over again. But it was all just a fantastic experience working with all of them.
Now, let's take a look at the behind the scenes for the public service announcement.
So basically, we were co-directors in this PSA for social injustices affecting teens in Memphis. Because in the PSA, we had the teens write what they felt, a quote that impacted them. So they were able to speak on justice issues or things they see in society today that they feel they should talk on or put in the PSA for themselves.
Now, let's take a look at the podcast group and their podcast, Stay Woke Memphis.
Our discussion, we talked about colorism and how it affects Black girls.
Okay, so give us a little definition of colorism and then how you all portray the effect on Black girls.
Colorism is basically when They think people with lighter skin are more attractive or better, and that
Okay.
usually promotes darker skins to a lesser equality, I should say. We basically talked about like the history of colorism and how it affects the media and women in their day-to-day lives.
Where were you at when you were recording the podcast?
We were at Cloud 901 in the Memphis Public Library.
So you all were able to use the equipment up there and then, okay, all right. So you all were able to do it. That sounds interesting. I can't wait to listen to the podcast. I know that everyone out there can't wait to listen to it either.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Jada, for coming on.
Thank you.
Now, let's take a look at the theatrical group and their short film, Silent.
Do your schoolwork. You expect to get into Ohio State with those grades.
The new editor job for the school newspaper is open. I think you'd be the perfect man for the job.
So busy. I don't care what you think you've been busy with. The only thing I know is that you need to get it together.
So just think of it as what you say to your buddies when they say something to you like, well, how am I supposed to focus if I don't eat first?
Breakfast preferably, but I just don't have the time to focus on writing. At least not with football season just started.
It centers around a high school male who struggles between what his father wants and what he wants, and that's a very relatable subject towards high school students today.
For your life, like maybe, hey dad, I actually don't like football, or hey dad, maybe I don't want to go to Ohio State.
Schoolwork. You expect to get into Ohio State with those grades. And there's also the father, who really isn't willing to listen to Antonio's words or Jonathan's words, but more just wants his goals to be displayed onto him.
Speeding.
Action.
And I am Ashton Shepard. I played the alter ego of Jonathan.
Okay, so you're the voice of reason for him. What moments did you really enjoy about being the alter ego of Jonathan?
You know, the things that I was doing throughout the film that, you know, had a great impact on me, it was the idea of the story itself. You know, it's based off of the trials and tribulations he was going through that really, you know, impacted my life. You know, I could see, you know, myself in his same shoes, you know, because I go through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life, but it's always about, you know, coming out on top at the end.
Now that you have an idea of what happened behind the scenes of our visual and audio projects, let's take a look at some of our facilitators.
Hi, my name is Irma Elsie, and I worked as the production manager for the Memphis Challenge, Tell Me a Story, Giving Voice to the Voiceless. I helped the students with all the aspects of their production, from their narrative animation project to their PSA. And all the things that we did were helping the students learn more about production, physical production. In animation, they learned a lot of things about how to work with actors, and I helped all the other students with all the jobs for directing, lighting, audio, all the things that students would need to know to put on an actual production. The experience has been wonderful, and the students learned quite a bit, and I'm sure that the project is going to reflect that. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here with one of our facilitators, Miss Avery Cunningham. Avery, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you helped on with the project.
Oh, sure thing, Antonio. Well, as you said, my name's Avery Cunningham, and I'm actually the program manager for Memphis Challenge. So, Tell Me a Story, Giving Voice to Voices kind of fell within the realm of my day-to-day duties with helping with Memphis Challenge. And my role really with the program was to help keep everything on track. I was really, a lot of people told me I was more of the, that this was a stage production, I would be the stage manager, really helping everything stay in line, helping everybody get to where they need to be. Everyone has done such a fantastic job. I have never worked on a team like this. With people who have shown such passion, such interest, and such want to give as many opportunities as possible, and especially as young people. I've worked with my own kind of peers, people my age, on projects like this, and they'll fall off the wagon very quickly. But being able to create 3 professional short films or the time that we have done it in the industry can be considered kind of impossible. But that just proves the dedication and will of you guys, you challengers, and the Memphis Challenge staff and our partners, that we'll literally go to any lengths to make sure that you guys have the best opportunities possible and that you're presenting yourselves.
So we couldn't do it without you all, so thank you again.
Well, couldn't do without you, Adonia.
Ladies and gentlemen, Avery Cunningham.
Our goal with the Tell Me a Story, Giving Voice to the Voiceless, has always been to raise the voices of our challengers in order to help them express their hopes and concerns. And we believe that the short films and podcasts have realized that goal. Now, on behalf of the students of Memphis Challenge, we invite you to take on the themes of giving voice to the voiceless and learn from them. Accept the challenge to stop youth violence and bullying, do away with peer pressure, and encourage youth to embrace their personal identity. Thank you and enjoy.